I just met my fiancé's family for the first time, and it felt like they were being fake nice while interrogating me about my past relationships. Now my fiancé won't speak to me for being rude and xenophobic when I said it was weird. Posted by you/LateTart320. I, 27F, recently met my fiancé's, 31M, family for the first time. We have been together for 4 years, but we spent 2 of those years in my home country before moving to his country after I finished my graduate program. We didn't settle in his home state, but I kept asking to meet his parents because he had met mine multiple times. He always said they were just very private people or kind of old-fashioned, so we should wait until we were engaged. Weird, but some people are just weird, so I didn't push it. Well, we're engaged now, so last weekend we finally made the trip. And I don't know how else to describe it, but something felt really off about the entire thing. They weren't rude, I want to preface with that. On the contrary, they were nice to a degree that felt contrived and, honestly, a little scary. His mom kept hugging and touching me, holding my hands, asking what she could do for me, how she could make me comfortable, and saying how nice it was to finally meet me. His dad barely said a word to me, and that juxtaposition was a lot. I felt a bit love-bombed. She made all my favorite foods and kept anxiously asking if anything was wrong, if she could refill my drink. She even offered me her shirt when I mentioned I thought it looked nice. I thought maybe she was just anxious? I'm not sure. His little sisters asked polite questions, but still, it felt so surface level. His mom was dominating everything. It kind of felt like a job interview, like, what are you looking for in a marriage, and have you heard much about our little town? I said no, since I'm not from the US, and she looked relieved. She asked about my past relationships and was very interested in why my last boyfriend and I broke up. I specifically remember her asking, how hard did you fight for it? Or did you just leave? And that was so weird. I just felt oddly interrogated and coddled at the same time. I'm not explaining myself well, but Micah told me to get out of that house. My fiancé barely spoke all night, and any time I looked to him for reassurance, he just smiled and looked down at his hands, which is not like him at all. A couple of nights in, I told him I was feeling kind of weird and wanted to go home. He asked me why, and I told him that maybe I'm just not used to American socializing, that I just felt a little tired and overwhelmed, and that his family was really, really nice, and I wasn't sure how to handle it. I was trying not to be rude, but we've always emphasized honesty in our relationship. I thought that if this was a cultural thing, maybe we could talk about it and overcome it together. He got really defensive, though, saying I was being dramatic, rude, and xenophobic when his family had gone out of their way to make me feel welcome. I apologized and said I was grateful but just felt a little weird. He then said he was done talking about it. We drove home, and he won't talk about it anymore. He will hardly even talk to me. His mom, on the other hand, has been texting me nonstop since she met me. She keeps saying how happy she was to meet me, how beautiful I am, and how she hopes we won't wait too long to get married and have kids. I just feel so unsettled. My fiancé thinks I am an ungrateful jerk, and maybe I am. I don't know, am I? I just feel so out of sorts over this. Any advice, criticism, anything is welcome. Relevant comments. Commenter. Americans will talk and smile at strangers all the time just to be friendly, but this is not normal American socializing. I'm from the South, where we take friendliness up a notch, and I'm on my couch cringing so badly I almost stopped reading because I was so uncomfortable. Ops response. I didn't want to make any generalizations in my post, but I seriously thought I was just being inconsiderate and not adapting to a different culture because he kept insisting that was my problem. But it is weird, right? It felt like so much more than friendly. I can't accurately depict it with words. Thank you for sharing this as an American because I feel a lot less crazy now. Commenter 2. Is this your fiancé's first relationship? Or has he dated prior to you? If yes, maybe you can reach out to an ex to ask about his family. Ops response. I am his first serious relationship. He's mentioned past flings, but we haven't talked much about exes. So maybe his mom is just really excited that he's finally settling down or something? Commenter 3. Makes me wonder if he threatened them, and they're reacting this way as a passive-aggressive response to his pressure. Ops response. I don't know. I asked to meet them for a long time, and he had so many reasons why we couldn't, so I guess part of the discord in my mind is wondering why they reacted this way when he told me they were private and old-fashioned. It just doesn't match up at all. I also don't think my fiancé would do something like that, but he is acting so strange right now. Op adds an edit to her post. My fiancé still isn't talking to me at all. He shut himself in our room and said he needed space. Seriously, am I missing something here? What am I supposed to do? I feel like I'm going crazy. Update 1 day later. I finally got my fiancé to talk to me, and it was not a good conversation. I apologized again for coming across as ungrateful, and he said that the way I reacted to his family told him everything he needed to know about why he was so reluctant to let me meet them in the first place. He said I should be grateful that they welcomed me with such open arms and that I needed to remember that the only reason I'm doing so well in this country is because I am dependent on him to be here. That made me so angry. I literally can't stand being talked down to. I said I felt like this was way out of proportion, and he then accused me of cheating on him. He demanded to see my phone because, apparently, according to him, I'm intentionally trying to sabotage our relationship by saying his family is too nice so that he'll call off the engagement. I can call him a jerk, and I get to go off with my so-called fling. I am not a cheater, so I said, go ahead, look through my phone. He scrolled through my texts for a bit, my internet search history, my social media search history, and my camera roll. As expected, he found nothing, but he doubled down and said that this was a serious problem for him and that he needs to reevaluate our entire relationship. I am so baffled. He has never blown up on me like this. I feel like I don't even recognize the person I'm getting married to. Edit. I didn't articulate myself well in the first post, so here is a more detailed rundown of what happened at his home. His mom touched my hair, kept hugging me, and grabbed my arm. She even pinched my cheeks a couple of times. These could all be very normal things. I'm coming to understand this by reading the comments, but paired with everything else, it just made me feel more like a doll. She repeatedly said I was more beautiful than she had imagined and kept calling me beautiful and perfect for her son. She grabbed my shirt because she said it looked so good on me and wanted to feel it. She insisted I sit next to her and frequently said she was so glad to finally meet me and that it felt like she had been waiting for me forever. She served my plate for me and kept refilling it with food even after I said, "Thank you, it's delicious, but I'm full." She also kept bringing me drinks even when I said I wasn't thirsty. I don't handle alcohol well, so I try not to drink, but when I tried to decline, she kept insisting, and I eventually felt like I couldn't refuse. She asked me what I was looking for in a relationship, what kind of wife I wanted to be, what my past relationships were like, why I left my exes, and what my thought process and reasoning were. Since we left, she has been texting me almost constantly, asking me to promise I'll come back and visit, asking when the wedding is, urging me not to put it off for long, and even asking when we're going to have kids or if we're already trying for them. I hope this provides more clarity on why I felt the way I did, even if I shouldn't have expressed it to my fiancé, as I was a guest in their home and a recipient of their hospitality. Edit 2. Many people have asked, and I guess it might be more relevant than I initially thought. My fiancé is white, and I am Asian. No, I was not born in the US. We met when he was teaching English in my home country. Second update 1 day later. I want to start by saying thank you so much to all the commenters and everyone who messaged me privately with words of support and comfort. I have been really slow to catch up with what is happening to me, and although many of the comments scared me, I started coming to the natural conclusion that they were right. I felt more and more unsettled as the hours went on. My fiancé's mother kept texting me, and he didn't text me from work like he usually does. He got back late. His current job is labor-intensive and requires long hours. When he returned, I was waiting and told him I wanted to talk right then because the way events were unfolding was unacceptable to me, given the effort I've put into our relationship. It was leaving too many questions unanswered and creating even more. He instantly lit up and demanded to see my phone again. I said I would not give him my phone unless he gave me his, and he vehemently refused, saying I was the one causing problems, so it was his right to look through my phone, not the other way around. At this point, I was starting to feel really scared of him. I am physically much smaller than he is, and this had never felt more apparent to me than in that moment. He was speaking very loudly and standing really close to me, telling me that he and his family were willing to give me a second chance if I behaved better this time, that he knew I had it in me to be polite because I always acted that way back in my home country, and that no one else in America would put up with this behavior. He said I should consider myself lucky that he didn't do more to expose my supposed cheating. I asked if he was threatening me, and he again demanded to see my phone. I said no, though not as firmly as the first time, and he stormed off to the bathroom and turned the shower on. I was really, really scared. So many of you told me to look him and his family up, and I didn't because I honestly thought it was silly. But I did, right there in our living room. It turns out he did have a past girlfriend, though he has always maintained that he only had short flings and never a serious relationship. She disappeared 8 years ago, and he was considered a suspect for a while. I couldn't find much in the articles because I honestly didn't know how to dig further. I don't know if anything ever came of it, if he is still a suspect, though I guess he couldn't be if he was able to teach English in another country. I don't know how it works. I know he was never convicted, but whether or not he did it is irrelevant to the fact that he lied. He lied so colossally about something so huge. I was genuinely so scared that I started shaking. I couldn't think or do anything. It was the middle of the night, he was in the shower, and I was just so scared. I missed my mom and home so much more than I had since I left. I locked myself in our bedroom and called my mom. I tried to explain what was happening as best I could. My parents told me to leave everything except for family photos, heirlooms, and my work things and to go to a hotel, not to say a word to him and just do it as quickly as possible. I told them he was in the shower, so they thought I would have enough time to leave without him noticing. I gathered my stuff as quickly as I could. I think I forgot some jewelry, but it's okay. My dad sent me money for a hotel, and that's where I am right now. I took an Uber about 2 hours away from the city using a separate account I made that night, as I don't have a car here. My fiancé started messaging me about 30 minutes into the drive, asking what was going on. I sent him the links to the articles I read and told him I was feeling really scared and lied to, and that I thought our relationship was over. If he thought I was cheating, clearly, we don't trust each other. He called me so many times, repeatedly saying that I was a bitch for accusing him of something he didn't do and for bringing up such a painful subject when he wasn't ready to talk about it. He said he wished he had never met me and that I should think long and hard about what I was doing because I didn't fully understand the consequences of being alone in America. That no one would want me like he did, that he was doing me a favor. I just ignored it. I was crying so hard that the Uber driver actually asked me if I was okay. Then, his mom started calling and texting me. She said she knew it sounded scary but that her son was a good person and had nothing to do with it, and that if we just got married and had kids, things would really smooth out. I couldn't take it anymore. I just wanted to go home. Everything was clicking into place way too much, his parents' treatment of me, why he kept demanding to see my phone, why it took so long for me to visit his hometown and meet his family. My friend walked me through everything, and it all made sense. My body was so overcome with stress and fear that I couldn't stand to be there for one more second. I am at the hotel now. All location services on my phone are disabled, and my dad bought me a plane ticket home. I emailed my job and told them a family emergency had come up and that I would no longer be able to offer my services. Most of my clothes are still at the home I shared with my fiancé, and I don't think I'll ever get them back because I don't want to go back. It's not like I can ask my friends to get them for me. I have some friends here, but they're not close, and it's too hard to ship everything. Anyway, that's it. I sent him a text saying that the engagement is off. There are a lot of other things to address, like the fact that we have shared accounts and that he has my visa information, etc. I don't want to speculate about what happened with him and his past girlfriend because I don't know. They never found her, and my heart breaks for her. But he lied about it, for years, and did everything he could to keep it from me. I'm too scared to ever feel comfortable in that relationship again, and I think it's time for me to go home. Thank you so much again to everyone who sent me comforting words of support and kindness. I don't know if I would have come to the same conclusions without your comments. Relevant comments. Commenter. Let's look at it neutrally. She did the right thing, but at the same time, what if that guy is actually innocent and his entire life got messed up because of that past situation? His parents just want him to finally find someone, but he can't, because of something he might not have even done. All of that could have literally forced him to become a bit unstable. If he is innocent, we can't really hate him or say he's wrong, rather, we should pity him. That being said, maybe he should have been honest from the start. And in the end, of course, her safety is the most important thing. If he is innocent, he should probably go to therapy. Commenter 2. If this story is, in fact, real, Ops X should have revealed his past before they got serious and certainly before they got engaged. My boyfriend disclosed a traumatic event that resulted in legal trouble before we even went on our first date. I Googled him when he told me and read all the media coverage about it. I could have easily found that out, decided he was guilty, and chosen not to date him, but he took the chance, and I respected that immensely. On the other hand, if I had found out on my own and he hadn't told me, I would have been absolutely terrified and left without speaking to him ever again. I know it's tough. My older brother is someone who hides his criminal past and even uses a fake name to date to avoid being Googled. I find that incredibly dishonest, and no good relationship can be built on that foundation. I think I got lucky because my boyfriend is a great person, and we're a good match. I know everyone makes mistakes, and thankfully, his crime was unrelated to women or a past girlfriend, so that makes it different. But I'm saying all this to emphasize that, yes, Even if this is all true and Op's ex was innocent, he needed to disclose his history and be with someone who is okay with it. Therapy sounds like a good idea, too, because if this is real, he became incredibly angry and controlling when things didn't go his way, which is scary in itself.